5 members of a police force in Connecticut face misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident in June when a man was injured during a ride in a police van that left him paralyzed.
It's hard to see officers charged, but it's also part of what we've been talking about since the beginning. We need to be transparent and accountable.
Officials in New Haven say a sergeant and 4 officers turned themselves in after being charged with reckless endangerment in the second degree and cruelty to persons. In June of 2022, 36-year-old Randy Cox was in the back of a transport van when investigators say the officer who was driving stopped short to avoid a traffic accident. Video from inside the van shows Cox was thrown to the back of the vehicle and hit his head. He told the officer that he was hurt, and while an ambulance was called, the driver continued on to the detention facility. Police officials say that was a violation of protocol, and he should have pulled over and waited for an ambulance. Once the van arrived at the detention facility, Cox was unable to move and needed to be pulled out of the van. He was put in a wheelchair and then in a holding cell for processing.
You can make mistakes, but you can't treat people poorly, period. You cannot treat people the way Mr. Cox was treated.
The president for the New Haven Police Union said it will support the officers throughout this case. The attorney representing Mr. Cox says his client will never be the same.
What's happened here today is never going to change the fact that Randy Cox is paralyzed from the neck down, and that his life since June 19th, since Juneteenth of 2022 has been irreparably altered.
Cox's legal team has reportedly filed a $100 million lawsuit against the city and police department. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Montalbano.